So some of you thought we weren't gonna come back here, but here we are in my in-laws' new house, and you know we had to check it out. Now, we made some awesome additions in here since the last time you guys have seen it, and I'm pretty proud of myself. I think we did some really dope work. In the living room, we've got this really homey vibe, but this is an awesome entertainment space. Now, we've also did a little bit in the seating area right behind us and a couple things in the kitchen. Unfortunately though, we didn't upgrade their appliances, so like the fridge or the stove or even like the washer and dryer. We didn't get a chance to swap those out just yet, but we just came back from an event with Samsung where we saw exactly what they needed. So shout out to Samsung for not only sponsoring today's video, but also having us out to check out their new 2025 lineup. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it was a bit of a tease considering what we were working on. Now, we saw a ton of things that I would love to have in this space and even in my own, because the goal here is to make my in-laws have to do as little physical input as possible with the things around them. So I was definitely drawn to Samsung's new bespoke AI laundry combo, which is both a washer and dryer, which is awesome because now you no longer need to take out wet clothes and transfer them to a dryer. It automatically goes into the dryer mode once it's done washing. And I love that because that's gonna be good for my in-laws' backs. They're not spring chickens. So not having to worry about picking up heavy, damp clothing would be really nice. And with this combo unit, Samsung offers a non-vented and a vented version so you can get the maximum drying capabilities out of it. And it even has a built-in 7-inch display called the AI home screen that lets you see all kinds of information. So you can pick the kind of wash you want to do. You can get the status of the wash while it's doing it. You can see exact details on like your energy usage, water consumption, even how much detergent you're using, and it'll update you when you're running low and potentially even help you make an order for more if you need to. Not to mention, you can check on and control all of the other Samsung 2025 appliances without having to leave the room. It's pretty amazing. Now, the combo unit's awesome, but we also saw the bespoke fridge with Family Hub integrated. And this has got me low-key excited because it has built-in AI that does all kinds of things like track inventory of the food inside. And what's sick is that it'll even give you recipe suggestions if it realizes that the food that you have in there is expiring soon to make sure they don't go to waste. And as someone who has a kid with allergies, I love that you can fine-tune the suggestions based on dietary restrictions. So if my in-laws had something like this, they could easily look up recipes for my kid if he comes over that we know is gonna be safe. And if any ingredients are missing from the recipe, you can use the Family Hub to instantly order it. They've got like 3 different services that you can use so that you can have the ingredients delivered right away. It's just so convenient and it makes sense. Even the oven is connected so you can send recipes over to it so it can start preheating and even cooking right when you send it over. And you can monitor the food that's cooking inside from any of the screens that you're using, whether it's the washer dryer combo, the Family Hub, or even your phone, since it has built-in cameras. But either way, I absolutely love it for my family. It's actually available for order now, so I'll have links down below in the description so you guys can check it out. Honestly, if you want a smart fridge or laundry room or just a system that makes sense, you guys gotta check it out. But that's all wishful thinking on this side of things. Let's talk about the tech that I was actually able to put in here. So check it out. The whole idea is to upgrade this living room. So you know where we have to start. So right here, we've got the 85-inch Sony Bravia 9, an absolute behemoth. Now this guy is Sony's brightest TV yet. It's a QLED mini LED TV and it is absolutely amazing for watching content. See, what my in-laws don't know is that I'm gonna make this place really fun so my kids never wanna leave. But no, this is a beast of a TV, and not to mention, check this out, guys. First remote I've seen with it. Crunchyroll, baby, right on the remote. Right? You know, Oscar, you know it. But honestly, like, I'm an anime head. I love being able to just hit that button, have Crunchyroll pop up. They could get rid of everything else. That's all I care about. Well, they could keep the YouTube too. But I also just love the fact that this thing has Google TV built into it. So a lot of the Google services that we want to use and take advantage of, this is like one of my favorite operating systems for a TV, which is actually a big deal because there's a lot of Google things in here for security and all that. But we'll talk about that a little later. So awesome stuff, but we also paired it up with these guys. So what we've got on the sides are a new sound system. So instead of having your typical sound bar at the bottom, these are called the Sony Bravia Theater Quad. So like the name implies, there are 4 of these. We've got one here, another one on the side, and we've also got 2 back here. Now what's great about these is that they're all Dolby Atmos. So not only are they forward firing, but they're also upward firing. So that whole surround sound experience, absolutely amazing in here. Now, it is a little funky because we've got our TV, 2 speakers over here, 1 over there, and we've got like that lone wolf all the way on the other side. And typically, that wouldn't be ideal, but they do use sound optimization and AI to make sure that the audio is calibrated so that it sounds the way it should. And so far I've got no complaints. It sounds really solid to me. You know, it's also really impressive, and I'm not gonna stay on this for too long, but with the Sony TVs, the speakers are like left and right, and the TV itself acts as the center. The audio from the TV even plays a part, and it sounds amazing. Way better than I would have imagined. Not to mention, we've got the sub over here. Oscar, you felt the sub earlier. This thing was crazy. Also, low key, tell me this is not dope. This little TV stand with the built-in fake fireplace. You can change up the light depending on, or the color depending on what you like. But I think the best part is that there's a heater built into it. So if you do feel cold, this is a legitimate heater that you can turn on. And I know my mother-in-law would love this because she's always cold. But yes, my plan of making this an amazing place to just hang out for my kids, ooh, it's coming together. Now, we also made some other changes. We changed up the lights in here. So all of the recessed lighting are actually Govee smart lights. So instead of having just the regular lights, we can change pretty much everything in here. Now, there's a bunch of reasons why I wanted smart lights in here. I don't know how many of you have like bought a home and your light switches just kind of don't make any sense. Honestly, all of these lights are on a million different switches within this living room. Absolutely horrible. At some point, they'll get that fixed. They'll get an electrician to come in here and do their thing. But as of right now, with these being smart, you can just jump into the app, have everything turned off. You also get like fun controls where you can do something silly like this. You turn all the lights blue. They don't look so hot because some of them turn blue before others. We're working on that. We gotta add a little extra piece, and we need like a nice little hub to synergize everything, which I'll have linked down below in case you want to do something similar. But this lighting control was a big deal for me, and getting it to work with Google is definitely next. Now, I did mention the voice assistant here is going to be Google. So we actually have like a bunch of, you know, Google Home and Nest products. We got the Yell Lock, which you just punch in a code. And what's nice about this is each family member can have a code and you can know exactly who's coming in and out the home. My in-laws aren't even here and I'm in here. So, you know, maybe they want to track that. Maybe I take the TV off of the wall and they want to know what happened.
Great, now none of us can watch TV. That's my TV!
But not only can you see exactly who's coming in and out the house, but of course you can remotely access the lock. So if you want to just go in, you can hold this. So if you want to let somebody in and you're not close to the door, you can easily do that. And with the Google Home doorbell that's on the outside, you can see who it is before you let them in. All that stuff you can double check. Security camera inside of here just to make sure everything's all kosher. So just having all of that access right here is really nice. And the whole goal is to make sure everything in here functions on the Google Home app. So obviously some deep integration with Google in here, but we got some other smart things as well. So this is a small one, you know, we got the Pet Libro, the automatic pet feeder. So their little dog Chloe, they'll be able to get their food dispensed right from here without anybody having to go grab some more food from the kitchen. She can just kind of get it with the press of a button from the app. They can even talk to her right from there if maybe they're not home and they want to call her to come over and eat. They'll be able to do all of that there. So I felt like that was a nice little addition for them. One thing that we did talk about last time was this SwitchBot robot vacuum. Now, this is the robot vacuum mop combo. So over here, obviously we have the SwitchBot. You know what a robot vacuum does. And this one's dope though, because obviously it'll vacuum up anything that it needs to on the floor, making things a little bit easier for my in-laws so they're not running around with a vacuum all the time. But what's also nice is that it mops. It's got this base station where it'll be able to get clean water since it's connected right with the pipes from the kitchen faucet. So it's getting clean water to mop down the floors. And what's even cooler is that it's got this extra piece too. So this right here is a smart humidifier. So obviously with this, moisture is gonna go into the air, but the SwitchBot S10 is gonna be able to take that clean water from the kitchen and refill this whenever it gets low. It can do it automatically. It's just kind of mind-blowing to see it work, actually. It is wild. And that's kind of like what I want this place to be all about. Things just kind of working together. That's why I want those appliances, man. But having everything work together, I think it would be really, really dope. And obviously all of this can be controlled right from Google as well. So I can say, hey Google, turn off the humidifier. Hey Google, turn on the humidifier. And it's kicking back up. But yeah, that kind of integration is awesome. I can even ask Google to make the S10 start vacuuming right now. That's the goal. As little physical input as possible. Just use your voice or use the app. And check this out, guys. Right behind us, they've got this really, really awesome area where it's like a huge window. And right here, we're actually using SwitchBot curtain openers. So I can jump into the app, hit open, and boom. If they want some extra sunlight coming in the morning, they can have it do that. I'll show you guys something. And this little staircase right here leads to all the rooms. So let's say somebody comes down in the morning, they want it to be nice and bright in here. There's actually a little remote that I put up here. This is removable. All right, that messed up the tape, Oscar. All right, I'll fix that later, but it's supposed to be a detachable remote that you can actually control the SwitchBot with. So as they're coming down the stairs, kind of like a light switch, they can have the SwitchBot open or close. Right now I'm gonna close it since it's already open. Now this little remote was separate, but I thought it would be a nice touch. They can put it anywhere in the house and have access to everything with the press of a button, but I figured right there would be a good spot. Come out the room in the morning, wanna hear the birds chirping, sunbeams coming in. Now it's interesting because this thing like uses these beads to keep everything together and do all the pulling. You know, it's a little jank, and when you hear it going, but it gets the job done. It's fine. Also, we added these little solar panels so that we never have to worry about charging it. So as this is facing outward, the sun's beaming on it, keeps these things charged perpetually. But lo and behold, y'all, this guy. This is called the Mural. I think it's called the Mural Canvas. Of course, I had to put us on here. But this is actually a really dope digital art frame. This is really expensive, but I will say the quality looks really good. It looks like we're looking at an actual photo. The screen is nice and matte, and it also has some gesture controls as well. So you might not see it, but there is a sensor over here that lets you swipe between the different photos you have. So if you want to have a bunch of photos, you can just kind of swipe through them. And you can like use the gesture controls to see information about the photo, what camera was used. The gesture controls aren't great, but whatever, it gets the job done. Now this one doesn't exactly match the room. I know the black frames and all. I'm gonna swap this out for a white one, and I'm bringing this home. Although I wish it were a little bit bigger, especially for the price. I'm not saying I recommend this though. The photos look really good, but the price and the gesture controls, I'm not crazy about that. But they're not complaining, it's free. We also set up a little Google Home Max over there so they can have voice controls, and it also doubles as a security camera. And my father-in-law loves this one, the new Nest Thermostat. This thing is amazing. It not only looks beautiful, but it gives you like a bunch of information too. So you can see the outdoor temperatures, 41 degrees, humidity, the time. You can set it to all kinds of stuff. And the controls are just what you would expect from a Nest thermostat, but like the interface is just so clean. So if I want it to go to 76, it says it'll do that in 40 minutes. And I just love the fact that as you add more and more heat, you can see the red come in. The best looking thermostat they've made so far. And you also get like those learning capabilities. So it'll kind of start learning the way you like to heat or cool your home and start doing those things automatically. It has all those energy features so you can save. Google really knocked it out the park with this one. But now, let me show you a couple of the things we added in the kitchen. This is solid. So another Nest Hub Max, so we can call out to Google, get the camera, makes sense. But this thing, Oscar, I think you put me onto this, right? Yeah. This is the Ninja Creamy 2. So you can use this to create soft serve ice cream, sorbets, fruit whip, frozen custard, milkshakes, gelato, like all kinds of stuff, which is dope. Now, because Austin has allergies and he loves ice cream, we can't just hop into any ice cream store and get him a scoop. So we're making the grandparents' house the best place in the world by letting them have a machine that can give him all the ice cream he wants that is completely safe for him.
I am Jose Mourinho. I turn good players into great players and great teams into champions.
Listen, Oscar threw some stuff together earlier. What do we have? We had peach sorbet. Blueberry vanilla ice cream with an Oreo on top. Like, he got fancy with it. It was ridiculous. Soup. But it was really good. So I'm excited for Austin to try this out. And the process is pretty simple, right? You let it freeze for, what, 24 hours? Kind of mix everything in here.
Put it in here and that's it.
And then you're just pouring out ice cream. So this, big brain moves. And down here is that base station we were talking about for the SwitchBot. So it can get the water that would normally go to the faucet. It basically splits that with the base. So we get that clean water for the humidifier. That's where that lives. But over here, we got a couple things. We have a smart cooker. Now, we got this in like a P.O. box video, and as easy as this should make it, we would never use it. So I let my in-laws have it. This thing is dope. So it's from Chef IQ. It's a pressure cooker, it's a steamer, you can sear and saute, it's an air fryer, slow cooker. You can do meat, you can do eggs, grains, pasta, vegetables, all kinds of stuff. It has a built-in scale so you can see how much food you have in there. This thing is awesome. For you cookers out there, man. This is coin noise. Obviously, it's smart, so it has an app. It's connected to Wi-Fi, so you can get notifications about when your stuff is getting done. So that is so dope. My father-in-law is gonna love it. Now, this is something I was personally hyped for. This is an automatic paper towel dispenser. All you have to do is wave your hand, grab a paper towel, and then it takes it back. Kind of snatched that kind of quick from me, I'm not gonna lie. I love that even if you wave your hand in front of it by accident, it'll just suck the paper towels right back up. You don't have to worry about wasting anything. And refilling it is super easy. You just pull down. You can just take any old paper towel. There's nothing to lock in. All you do is make sure some of the sheets are out in front. You don't even have to do it neatly. Just kind of throw it in there. That's super convenient. Like, I'm changing my in-laws' lives easily, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a funny story. I actually bought this for my house, and Ari gave me the hard no.
Honestly, all I gotta do is change my voice, talk a little deeper.
So, found a new home for it. But that's pretty much what we got. I didn't want to do too much in here. I just wanted to, add some essential gear. Oh yeah, we added this motion sensing garbage can too. That used to do it, but I don't think they sell that anymore, and that one's broken, so that's too much information. You guys don't care. That's about it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like I said, everything is going to be linked down below in the description. We'll probably be revisiting this place to make sure it's even more comfortable for those two little rugrats of mine. But that's about it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you think there's any cool things we could add, let me know with a comment. Till then, peace. It's getting dark, Oscar. We gotta go home.
We gotta go.